Welcome in. I'm channeling for just those who need to hear this. We'll be casting dice, and then I'll be giving you some advice. Okay. In terms of who this applies to, we have the fifth chakra. This is communication. Those who are struggling to be their authentic self. Those who are trying to speak their truth and yet are suffocated by those around them. We've got the star as well. We have huge hopes and dreams. We're trying to explore this world. We're trying to spread our wings, if we will. And yet with the six, we are too logical. Logic will be your downfall. If you go, but this is how it's always been. Logic is negativity in its finest. There's no other way of putting it. In this scenario, you can use logic in a way that lifts you, but if this has found you, you're using logic as a way to stay small. Well, look at everyone else around me, so I must be doing all right, or I must stay as I am because everyone else is in the same situation as me. It's unfortunate. So how do we get out of this situation? We have Pisces. Tap into the spiritual side of things. Tap into what you thought scared you or what you thought no longer served you. So fear has this funny way of always being in our lives, and yet we never want to touch it. We never want to hurt ourselves. We never want to put ourselves in a difficult situation, and so we stay in a little bubble of protection. But the reason fear is always there, if you are not being your highest self, is because the universe wants you to grow, and therefore it has to put your path to growth right in front of you. And if you want to manifest a world where you do not grow, you can still see what will allow you to grow without taking action upon it, because you'll label it or use logic and go, yeah, but everyone else that has gone down that path, everyone else that has removed their mask has had their fingers burnt. And it will keep showing you that until you start to trust yourself, until you start to go, you know what? Unconditional love says that you love any situation no matter what it looks like. And this isn't like a short reading. This isn't over the next week. We've got Destiny card. This is something that you never stop doing. This is, if you found yourself trapped, if you found yourself what feels like imprisoned, which you have done with the logic, if you feel imprisoned and unable to escape, the door is fear. Walk through it. Embrace it. Do not be scared. Yes, the final things here are conflict and karmic lessons. And that means we've been here before. We've struggled and we've fought to escape this situation. But every time we've got to that end goal where you feel like, oh my God, I'm getting myself back. I feel like I'm being lifted. You then go, oh, but I was so comfortable where I was. And that looks so scary, being loving 24/7. And you revert back to your old self. My point is, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, you are constantly being given the opportunity to change. And every opportunity you have been given, you have refused. It is only logical that if everything in the universe changes, the universe is giving you those opportunities to change. And so all the wisdom you need, you don't need a new teacher, you don't need to watch another video, you just need to watch your thoughts, and the next thing that scares you, go, what happens if I just follow through with it? What happens if I follow the path of fear and transmute it into love. And I promise your reality will change. And then I've done videos on the past on how the universe will test you, how it will throw situations that you've been uncomfortable in the past. And this is why a lot of people get hung up on, well, it's only logical. No, that's because you failed the test. You go, no, I'm fine. Let's use love as an example. I'm fine. I'm ready for love. I want to be loved. And the universe gives you someone to love. But you see a red flag. And all of a sudden, they haven't broken your trust, but you are allowing your past to affect that situation in a way that it sours it. And therefore you take a step back and go, nah, I trust my gut feeling on this one, and they're just not right. And that's not to say that it isn't right, but don't do it out of logic. Do it when they actually break your trust. And it will be obvious. There's a big difference between this person stopped talking to me for 24 hours and you've actually messaged them and badgered them 3 or 4 times because you're not against unconditional love. And so you're still talking, you're still being yourself 100%. And then they're not giving you the energy back. I hope that makes sense. But this goes for everything. Work, love, your family, your connections, you just being yourself. At the end of the day, the moment you remove that mask, all that is left is unconditional love. And so give yourself and others the benefit of the doubt in a loving way until you know they are no longer supporting you on your path. And then that, again, will lead to fear-based realities where you have to push people away that you've probably had in your life for a long time. If they're unwilling to change, then let them go. But you're ready is my point. On the other side of fear, you're allowed to communicate your true feelings, you're allowed to be yourself, and the world does not have to be confusing and restricting to you. I hope that helps.